Hello, this is National Chess Master Rats at ICC. I'm here representing Team 4545 League, played on ICC, and they're currently in Team Event 59, and this is from the first round of this event. Now, normally I make a video of the game of the week, but unfortunately only one game can be picked as game of the week, and I thought this game was really exciting, the type of game that players who watch my videos want to see. And I can't always do this, or I can't always promise this, but I thought this was the best played game of the round, and it would be a shame for me not to make a video, because the whole purpose of me making these videos is not only to promote Team 4545 League, but to provide some instructional value. So I'm going to do something rare this one time and have two videos on one. As a result, I'm not going to make them a very long videos, simply to economize time, and we'll see as we go. But let's look at this game first. Okay, so far it's following just a mainline Sicilian Najdorf, and it's one of the most tactical openings there is in chess, and we're in a sideline here. H6 is not usually the normal move. I'm not going to begin to show you guys what the main line is. If you're going to play white or black, you need to know these. Okay, that's on you. This is one of the reasons why I teach not to play mainline openings, because what if your opponent knows it better than you do? That's what used to happen to me when I was rated around 1900. Yuck. Okay, so probably it would have been made more sense to take with the G-pawn here, because white begins to try to exploit D6 here in a moment. Okay, and here it comes. Now, very interesting piece sacrifice. There are a lot of sacrifices where, in a lot of lines where white plays this, usually he's managing to collect the B-pawn when he does it, but not in this case. Okay. Now, the point of white's sacrifice, and black is at least taking his time on these moves, and now white's pretty much spent his attack at this point. And why do I say that? Well, because this rook and this bishop aren't developed, and it's not sure. It's not exactly certain how white is going to get those into play, and black does have a lot of counterattack possibilities, and that's going to be the theme here. Rook should have gone down one more square. There we go. Okay, so black starts his counterattack. Now here I think white misses his best chance. Okay. He should take this pawn, and now at least he's got his piece back. White's going to have to weather an attack here. Just one of the prices you pay for doing such a speculative line. But again, that's what makes the Team 4545 League exciting. You have a quick time control that a lot of exciting things can happen if you just happen to see a little bit more than your opponent. Get him in time pressure, which is quite easy with this time control. Anything can happen, and we're looking for exciting chess. We're looking for the kind of chess that you can sit down and play at all rating levels, and the games go up and down. Sometimes the winner loses and the loser wins, or the person who's winning loses and the person who's losing wins. And sometimes draws occur out of winning positions. But anyway, it's exciting chess, good for the casual player looking for a little recreation online. Okay. But I think this was white's best continuation, but he doesn't do it. I don't know why he didn't do it, but he chooses to try to find a little defense and shelter for his king. I guess he's assuming this bishop isn't going anywhere. If it comes down here, he'll still trap it, but let's watch what happens. Okay, and black gets a couple checks in, and white's playing his defense. And we could sit and analyze this thing out to death, and that's kind of beyond the scope of this video. Otherwise, this video could be 2 hours, and nobody wants to watch a 2-hour video. And black starts getting his development up. Now, this would have happened anyways had white grabbed the pawn that night. That rook would have come into play. But the one drawback for white is he hasn't regained his piece yet. But he figures it's not going anywhere, so he tries to run his king out of there. And black does the smart thing, develops a knight, and he's got a threat. He's threatening to play check. Okay, so white stops and gets rid of that knight first, gets a check. And now he takes the bishop. And, pretty much this is what we have now. material is dead even. Look at that, dead even. But both sides have a king exposed, and black seems to be a little bit ahead in development. So I guess we can argue that black has the better game just based on the fact that he's better developed, and the white king is more exposed than the black king. And this is the key here. These pieces just didn't get in the game. Had they been in the game, white might have done better. So white runs his king, and black grabs and stops and collects another pawn. And hard to say exactly what the best defense could have been, but white's trying to shield his king from any danger, any possible checks. And I'm not sure if chasing the queen was the best. We're not really threatening to take this. White's got to do something. He's got to castle by hand if he can. Maybe, I mean, some ideas to consider: h3, king g3, and king h2. Certainly an interesting idea. G3, I'd like to play a move like G3 and King G2, Rook G1, but the king's still on a dangerous diagonal. But it seems to me like white might have some resources here, but he doesn't find them, and I think it was wrong to go and stop and collect that pawn. But at the same time, he's hanging in here. If white could trade queens, he's probably going to get at least a draw. He might even have a win because he has an outside pass pawn, but black's not going to trade queens. But white still needs this to solve this problem of this king. If he can do that, white's okay. So can he do it? And how can someone visualize all these possibilities way back on move 11 when white makes a sacrifice? Well, you really can't. And anything can happen, and here, this is definitely the wrong choice. Okay, this has got to be a bad move for a number of reasons. Okay, white's not in any position to attack the black king, okay, because these guys aren't developed. All he's attacking with is a queen. Also, the key thing I see is it gives this knight this square. If white would go with my plan, let's try it. Let's get the king off the back rank. Oh, we do have to watch out for this square, but the moment or this thing, but the moment the rook goes there, the bishop can drop in. The pin's lifted. Okay. Now, what can black do aggressive? Well, rook a3 is met by bishop d3, so let's pile up on that pawn. Okay. Well, you know what? We're going to give that pawn. We don't care about it. Now there's a tempo. Okay, fine. Let's put the queen where it's safe and probably won't get molested. Let's keep it on the. Now I can't put it on b3. Rook a3 is deadly. Let's try here we go. e4. Now if f5. We can offer a queen trade, and we're out of the woods, right? If black trades queens, white's doing a lot better here. Okay, so just an example. Boom, we've got the king safe, and maybe black's for choice here. Maybe black's going to come out of this okay. Gonna go win that pawn, but it just kind of illustrates what white doesn't need to be. Pushing f5, he needs to get his king safe, and the slower plan is to play. Back this up. Rook g1. Now the rook is defended, and the bishop can develop. Okay, so now if we play knight b4, as in the other case, we go ahead with bishop d3, and maybe this approach would have been a little better. Now if rook takes, king takes. Knight takes. Nothing's making white take this bishop, but there's a good chance he's gonna come out of this okay. Go into an ending queen and 3 pawns versus queen and 4 pawns. Black has all the fun, but white's drawing chances are reasonable. Certainly would have been a better plan, but f5 just seems to give black all the all the play now, and the game just falls apart rapidly. The white king gets caught in a crossfire. White stops to collect another pawn, which really wasn't that good of an idea. And pretty much black just having his heyday, or his way here, and white can't do a thing. Here, these rook and bishop still haven't come in the game. And I don't think they're going to come back in the game. And white's trying to get pawns off, but he's got no development. And boom, there's that move which was lurking in the woods forever. And I think at this point, white ran out of time right here. Yeah, white forfeits on time. And I think he's going to lose this. But anyway, anything could have happened in that game. You have to tip your hat to white for playing this. Black took his time. You can see he's down to 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to the game that was chosen as game of the week. And this game, again, the purpose of these videos is instruction. And I'm really going to let black have it. Okay, black, you're moving too quick. You might as well stop playing Team 4545 League and start playing Blitz Chess, because that's what you played in this game. Okay, and we're going to see that. You're not doing yourself or your team any favor by moving instantly. And you should have lost this game, and especially it would have been just punishment for moving too quick. And I've made enough of these videos. The number one reason players lose games on the internet is they move too quick. And we will see as we run through this. Okay, so boom. Look, let's watch the time here. Okay, 47:21, and it jumps to 48:03. That means a gain of 42 seconds on his clock, 39-3. Black took 3 seconds on a move that loses a pawn. Okay? Why? All right? Case closed. So now white's just a clear pawn ahead, and white should win this game. Okay? The game is all white's now. And watch black's... I'm not going to even count off the number of seconds black is taking for his moves, because the entire game he plays like this. White at least took his time. Now white's getting material off the board, and makes an exchange that develops a white piece. And theoretically, white's going to win this. Okay, it looks a little dangerous stepping into a pin, but white has it all under control. And there were some threats on c2, but that's covered. c2's again covered. Doubles the rooks. And objectively, white has a completely winning game. And watch black's time. It's rising. Okay? Little threat on c2. Black gets the e-file, but he can't do anything with it. White's got it covered. And now this move, it weakens the e5 square. It's not a smart move to play. It spends 10 seconds on the move. Okay, I'm not going to quote these examples too much, but he spends 10 seconds on the move. And he's got all this time in the bank. He started out with 45 minutes. Black, you're trying to save this game. I'm not going to stop and suggest a better move, but certainly if you took your time, you could probably find a better move. You're creating a weakness here. You've got slightly the better rook and the knight, but you're weakening some of your squares. Maybe king f8. Okay, so watch white take advantage of this. And here it comes. Now, here's the point where white commits what I believe is his first mistake. Okay, let's before this pawn's exchange, let's think about it for a moment. White has 4 pawns. Black has 3. That means we have a pawn majority, right? That means the goal is to get a pass pawn, right? Well, white can get a pass pawn with this move, because the only way you're going to win this game is to get a pass pawn, right? Just simply take with the pawn. Okay? This is the winning move. If you play this move, even though black can defend a little bit, and white still has to earn his point, you've got the one thing you need. You've got the pass pawn now. What white does is white takes with the knight. Now the pass pawn is miles away. To get a pass pawn, you're going to have to advance your pawns here. You could have had one right now. now you're going to get one with fewer pawns on the board. So the correct line of play was to take with the pawn, and black has no fun defending this. Maybe he gets a lucky draw, maybe white makes a mistake, but leaving the position like it was, these pawns are weak. They wouldn't have been so weak if this pawn had been a pass pawn. So that move wins. And black continues to play quickly. And now white's on the 7th rank. So white's doing okay. White's got a completely winning game here. But he starts to lose track of where he's going. And here's the problem now. This b2 pawn is weak, and it's gotten there because white didn't fix his pawn structure by taking on d4 and mobilizing correctly. So white tries to counterattack pawns, and that's not necessarily the best place for the knight. So black now gets his pawn back, but white's still for choice here simply because he has the more aggressive rook. But white goes the wrong way here. He gets rid of his aggressive rook, and the game is probably a draw. And the game is going to be a draw for a long time. I will explain as we get there, because there's wasn't too much to this game. I still believe the game is a draw. But white commits 2 errors in a row here. And here it is. White just gives up a black an outside pass pawn, and black's going to win. But let's back up. White's Let's just back up a few moves. The one drawback with the white strategy is black ended up with the outside pass pawn here, right? And that caused the white king to divert. But white should still be okay for a draw here if he gets his knight back into play, his king back into play, right? So let the knight sit, okay? If you let the knight sit, we don't know exactly how we want to bring it yet. Start bringing the king into play, and I think this will hold a draw, okay? Let's just assume we get the king a little back. Now we can start thinking about where we want the knight. We can put it. Do we put it on d6? Well, that might allow a check, but we can get it on d8. And kind of a long analysis. This is beyond the scope of the video, but you got to get the king in play first and bring the knight second. I strongly believe if white does that, he holds a draw, and I'm not going to go into lengthy analysis of it, but hopefully we get the exciting games nominated, and not these games where one side was winning and then lost the game, because I don't think I think the exciting games make for better videos, and there's always some instructional value, and the instruction value here is you cannot play blitz chess when you play this, and unfortunately black wasn't punished for this game. And nothing against you, black, but you should have lost because you blitzed. Okay, we don't want to reward bad play, so I don't want to see any more games of the week where the winner play blitz chess. Okay, thank you. Take care. Hope to see you next time. Bye.